Clear here on the WNBA. Sophie's alone. She's alone right now.
I think there are a lot of people that agree with her. They just don't want us to talk about it.
But that's even worse.
Yeah, it is.
That's even worse, that you're going to allow one of your colleagues that's trying to protect all of you guys, as if it's a controversial point of view, to say that the men should play in the men's league and the women should play in the women's league. And right now, all the attention and scrutiny, they're going to try to suppress her. Thank God that her advertising is going up and many people are backing her right now. But she's essentially the only person in the WNBA saying that there should be fairness there. I mean, are you guys crazy? Do you understand what's going to happen to your league? The NBA already subsidizes the WNBA already. Right. So the league was on its heels. They're trying to get rid of Caitlin, who has been a generational talent, has brought more eyeballs on there. The moment that guys walk onto the practice field and start competing there, the sport is going to be done. No one is going to watch. So I just don't understand the end goal of these women right here, because if they are saying that this is okay, then don't be surprised next season when you see dudes come up at the practice facility and say, I want to try out for the team. Because y'all guys have said it's okay. You're letting this young woman stand out there alone, and she's trying to protect all of you guys. I just think that's shameful.
Oh, earlier this week, I made the announcement. I'm transgender. I'm a woman. I identify as sometimes identifying as a woman for purposes of basketball, professional basketball. So I'll be declaring for the WNBA draft in 2027 as well. I mean, I think I'd be unstoppable.
What would stop you from declaring for the WNBA draft?
I think the WNBA could come out and make a definitive statement about guys with a pair of balls playing in the women's association. But you know, hey, that'd be probably too much like right. So,
and unless they do that, you're very certain you're going to be declaring, right?
Oh no, I'm declaring. Yeah, no, and I don't want to be discriminated against. No, I want fair treatment. I'm a black, I'm a young black, hopefully United States senator that would like a fair chance to participate as a sometimes identifying as a transgender woman athlete.
If you make it to the WNBA, you plan to use the women's locker room and all that with them?
I mean, of course. I mean, I don't want to be discriminated against. I mean, come on. Why wouldn't I use the women's locker room?
Is there any player in the WNBA that you think could match up well with you?
No.
No.
Maybe Enos. Maybe me and Enos should play on the same team.
With careful consideration and reviewing the current eligibility guidelines, I am officially declaring myself a WNBA prospect. If simply declaring who you are is all that's required, then I meet every single requirement necessary to compete in the WNBA. My team and I have carefully examined the WNBA's eligibility criteria and governing framework surrounding self-identification and inclusion. Based on the current guidelines, I can and am officially declaring my eligibility for the upcoming WNBA draft in May 2027. I am definitely not here to mock, make fun of, or disrespect any community or personal choices. I am simply asking that the current rules be applied equally to everyone. The rules that represent the very values many WNBA players and coaches have publicly advocated for. My team and I are prepared to ensure these guidelines are applied equally, consistently, and without exception.
My height, for my ethnicity, I've been in those "you shouldn't belong here" many times, and for me, I don't want that space, especially Golden State, to ever feel like that. So I'm all about women, little girls deserving to play, and that includes trans women. So I'm all about inclusivity.
Want to address the controversy that is happening right now around trans women in sports. As you know, I've talked about this a lot and will continue to keep talking about this. I don't know Sophie, so I can only project what I see about her beliefs based on her actions. And seeing a picture of her with Riley Gaines after the game told me everything I need to know about what's happening. Riley Gaines has made it her life's mission to exclude trans people from public life. She's directly tied to the Heritage Foundation, the authors of Project 2025 and now 2026, who have now published a report that suggests that they want to repeal Title IX, the very piece of legislation that allowed athletes like Sophie and myself to compete in sports. Sophie has claimed both to love trans people and support Title IX. And this is where I think the accountability with having a major platform is extremely important. You can hear it even in the language being used that the root of trans exclusion is to protect young girls from men. To be clear, I would love to have that conversation, and it's much needed in this country. But it frames the conversation as if we're protecting young girls from men being in WNBA locker rooms. Not happening. It villainizes trans girls as if they're somehow magically older than their peers or are men, when in reality, they are also young girls. These laws are excluding kids from playing youth sports. If we want to have a conversation around elite sports, there are effective policies that have been in place for many years that no one noticed because they worked. So if anybody is taking these talking points as legit or believing they're protecting young girls in sports, I just have to ask, are you serious?
All right. Ladies, let's welcome everyone to another episode of the Ladies Table. I'm your host, Jeff St. James. We have Miss Maggie, Dr. Messy, and Miss Crimson herself for sure. So before you all give y'all input, I see we have a few super chats. So everybody, wherever you're watching from, please make sure that you like this. Make sure you're subscribed to everybody you see on the screen, and make sure that you comment and let us know where you're watching from. And feel free to hit that super chat button if you have a comment or question or just want to show love and support. A man supporting man. Shout out, man. Shout out to you, good sir, for the 10 jewels and the gold coins as well, and the $5 for sure. Appreciate you, good brother. Who else we got? Follow me, lead the way. $5. I don't like to involve myself much in women conversation, but this one caught my attention, so I decided to tune in. And please, everybody, please make sure you at least send this to 2, 3, or even 4 people, because I have a major announcement to make that I think I'm going to be entering into the draft myself too. Why not? I have decided that I think it's time. You know, I thought I never had an opportunity, but now I realize that there's another aspect of my identity, and I'm realizing that I think it's time here on the ladies panel that there's a reason why I fit on the ladies panel. I didn't even realize that it's my time that I've been a part of the ladies panel now for a couple months. I realize that I have a connection now more with y'all than I realize everybody else. So I think it's official for me to say that I'm now the third trans individual who's now going to be declaring for the WNBA, and I'm going to be making sure I can fill out the paperwork and post proof in the next month that I am also declaring as well. So stay tuned for that news as well. But appreciate you, brother, for that, for the $5 for sure. Cape and Caveman, thank you for the $2. See, now with their logic, he's making perfect. No, sir. No. She's making perfect sense. Not he. She's making perfect with the beard. Man, support Joanna. Man should be allowed to play. Appreciate you, man, for showing the support. And then also, big boy, $2. Them showers will be litty after a win. Listen, they lucky your boy married, because I might as well just wait in the locker room since that's what we allowed to do. So real quick, what's y'all thoughts about how we've gotten to this point in America, and how y'all doing?
You asking how we got here? I have been avoiding this because it's just not probably good for me to talk about. Mm-hmm. But I guess it's a joke to show these biatches that they took it too far. Is that what it is? Because I know they're not serious. I know those 2 dudes are not serious, but I think they should take it all the way. And that girl with the blonde hair, I don't know what she's like. I can't keep up. I can't keep up with what they call themselves, what they trying to call the rest of us. Just leave me alone. Just leave me alone. It's all ridiculous. Every day it's more ridiculousness. That's all I got. That's all I got.
Every day we fall further and further away from God. And I think that the chickens are coming home to roost. That when people kept saying that there's flaws in certain ideologies, or there's problems with certain ideologies, you would get shut down, you would be called transphobic, you would be called all these names. And then now the people who are against Ennis and Royce O'Neal declaring and now saying that they want to enter the league and that they're now identifying as trans, They're now saying, well, this isn't right. This is an attack on women. We know they don't mean it. Wait a minute. Because when other people have made this same argument, y'all used to have all this list of names and people would lose their jobs, lose their credentials. There's a whole host of things and consequences that came with not affirming just belief. Remember, it wasn't a surgical requirement. You didn't demand their hormones be at a certain level. You didn't demand that they would have to do certain things in order to even be able to compete. It was just a declarative statement that I now identify as a trans woman and I now identify with being a woman. That was always seen as trust them, trust what they say, trust what they believe themselves to be, and we have to take them at face value. And now I think the chickens are coming home to roost. Crimson, what you think?
I got a whole lot of thoughts. Okay. I'm about to run my whole mouth. Okay. First off, didn't nobody ask for the WNBA? Let's start there. Nobody asked for that. Nobody asked for that. The only people who kind of wanted the WNBA was way back when Cheryl Miller and Cheryl Swoops and Lisa Leslie was playing out of college. And they was like, you know what? We're so good. We probably should have a professional option like the men have. If they play very well in college, they have an opportunity to possibly be drafted to the NBA. So there's a professional route that a college male athlete can take if he played basketball. And then that class of women, I was alive when it happened. I was there when it happened. And it was the players themselves out of college that were saying, you know what, we probably should have a pro option. Now, the fans did not ask for this. And the reason how I know the fans didn't ask for this is because among fandom for professional leagues, all of them are majority male. The fandom for the NFL is majority male. For the NBA is majority male. For the MLB, majority male. For the NHL, majority male. All the major sports leagues fan base has always been majority male fan base. The females have always been the minority of the fan bases. Where every once in a while you have a little bit more growth for the female fans, but they've always been the minority, right? So when we talk about basketball fans, currently women make up probably about 30% or so, 30, 40% of the totality of basketball fans. The rest of that is men. Nobody asked for the WNBA because I'm pretty sure that at the start of the WNBA, it was even fewer women who were basketball fans to begin with, right? Because women don't carry the fandoms. Men carry the fandoms. And I have always been like an NFL fan, like I'm a football fan. You know what I mean? Like whether I follow it or not, I love football. So I know what I'm talking about when I talk about fandom, right? The way that fandom works is you're a fan of the sport first, and then you're a fan of specific teams and players. The WNBA does not have the star power. The women themselves do not have the level of athleticism that the men have. They don't, and they can't have it just because the men are stronger than all that other kind of stuff, all that good stuff. Okay.
Hold on, Crimson. Didn't I tell you I'm coming? You know I can still dunk, right?
Now,
I can do this.
Now you got to wear a wig. Now you will look good in a pixie cut.
Hey,
don't let them take you too far out. You know, get your little pixie cut wig. You know, with that like the old school with the taper in the back. Then let you dunk. I'm gonna land my plane in just a second. To answer the actual point, I just had to get that out. Nobody asked for the WNBA, and its proof is in the pudding because the NBA has had to carry the WNBA the whole time. These women will never be the millionaires. They will never have the money and the revenue. It just does not generate the revenue. Like I said, it doesn't have the star power. What's the name of the teams? Who can name the teams?
Fever. That's it.
That's a team. Anyway,
That's all I know.
Even people who don't watch no basketball know who LeBron James is. They know who Steph Curry is. They knew who Michael Jordan was. They knew, you see what I'm saying? So even if you don't watch it, even if you're not a fan, people understand who the NBA players are for the most part, the real popular ones, right? And things of that nature. So them having tea parties in the mix, y'all not gonna learn until a tea party get in there and bow you in your mouth and then dunk on you. Mushroom stamp you right on the board. Boom! Break the backboard. Break that little 6-foot backboard. Y'all, don't nobody want to see y'all dunk on a 6-foot backboard. No way. Nobody wants to see this. It's not entertaining. Okay? It's not. Nobody wants it. And now y'all sitting there, you got a whole female division. The reason why we divide certain sports by gender is because we know for a fact that the women cannot physically contend with the men. That's why combat sports, gender specific. Any contact sport, gender specific. Okay? They haven't tried to really do football. They tried to do the lingerie league. Nobody paid attention to that. So, you know what I'm saying? Like when you in boxing, when you in the UFC and stuff like that, no matter how good them women is, they not gonna be able to get in the ring with the men and bang with the men at all. It doesn't matter. You can take anybody from anywhere. So trying to say, oh, well, we down with tea parties coming into the league. What was the point of the NBA and the WNBA being a separate entity then? These the ones that couldn't even be in the D League finna come in and bow you in your, boy, they finna knock your teeth out. They can't keep up in the G League.
You got to go lower than that, Crimson. I'm gonna say it for the people who did not play sports in high school, did not play sports in college, and even this delusional woman on the screen that I'm about to put back up. Where's she at? Where's she at?
Is
Megan Rapinoe.
Is she transition? Is she transgender?
No, that's just how. I think she lesbian, but she played for the USA Women's World Cup USA team, right? This is my issue with people like her saying this now that she's no longer really active and playing anymore. If she pushed this when she was playing, she would never have made the team. So we got to start with the elephant in the room of why Title IX, exactly what Crimson said, is why it matters. Title IX was created to have nothing to do with what you identify with. It was always created because of the biological differences. If you played a sport in high school, especially a physical contact sport of any kind, outside of golf, you may not notice the differences in elementary school. There's a potential that you may start to see subtle differences in middle school. The astronomical differences between biological males and females by the time these boys reach 14 is night and day. To give y'all clarity for everybody who, like Megan Rapinoe and all the other cowards in the WNBA, I'm going to say the thing that they don't want to say. We know that if y'all start letting biological males that are in high school identify and try out for the WNBA teams, there will be no biological women or females in the league within one season. And when I say this, I don't mean seniors. I mean 14 and 15-year-old boys are better than WNBA players today. 14 and 15-year-old boys are better. When I was in high school, I tried soccer for the first time. My whole life, we grew up playing football and basketball. That's all we knew. Sophomore year, my friends was like, man, you got to come out. You got to try. I said, all right, I'll test it out. I'll try soccer. You never did it before. Started watching the game. I was like, oh, this is fun. I was on JV, and they had us play against the varsity juniors and seniors, and it was my first time ever kicking a soccer ball. And our JV boys, most of which never kicked a soccer ball before, were better than the varsity seniors and juniors girls that had been playing for 5 to 8 or even 10 years of playing soccer. We were better. We're just physically better. So personally, I'm actually happy. I'm happy for my opportunity to become a professional athlete now because I didn't think it was ever going to happen. And with LeBron getting ready to retire soon, I'm going to take the mantle and be the first 40-year-old WNBA player that's going to dunk.
I'm done with you, Mr.
Hey, I'm gonna score. Listen, Maggie, what you sorry, trying to be serious.
You know, when I have been saying for a long time, it's going to get worse before it gets better. And this is part of the getting worse. I say, let them have it. Let them show. You know, in the South, we say, I can show you better than I can tell you. This is what happens when you don't define what a woman is. When someone asks you a direct question, I saw that in the chat, and then you're beatboxing in front of Congress because you don't want to say, we know what a woman is. For me, this is probably going to be, I agree with Ms. Crimson, they have been giving away Atlanta Dream tickets if you barely scratch the honor roll. They cannot fill a stadium. This might be the thing to breathe life into the viewership of this sport. Of course, I think it's ridiculous, but you know what? What's good for the goose is good for the gander. And I don't want to see any woman get, physically hurt. However, if this is what has to happen for people to realize this is not a game, you all want to make it a game, we're going to take it all the way to the end. And here's the thing that, as women, I think we have to be really ashamed of how we can twist the facts to favor us. There are sports, I agree, in basketball and on a lot of the contact sports, like Ms. Crimson said, men obviously have the bigger fan base. However, there are sports where women dominate. Tennis, Serena Williams, figure skating, some of the other sports where I don't see men coming in and saying, no, we want to have that shine. It's like we can't let anybody else just be great on their own. So you know what? If a man is going to put on a wig and put on lipstick, you can do whatever you want to do. But if you're going to sit there and tell us just last year that you can't tell me what a woman is, if I feel like a woman, then I am a woman. Well, you know what? Take that all the way to the bank. For me, the locker room comment, if you have been around boys, and the men that are in the chat, you all know, when you are an anatomical male, you can become aroused unintentionally. It happens even in little boys. So now you want to bring that into the space, and you have these older women who now, like you said, they're safe and retired, but you're going to put other women into a place where now you're going to hear, well, I feel uncomfortable. Oh no, you said bring them all in. Let them walk around with their shirt off and their broad shoulders and their big backs and you know what else swinging. And that's just what you said, anything can go. Well, if that's what we're doing, I guess that's what's going to happen. And then maybe next time you'll think about it. You know what? Yeah, there are some biological differences between us. You're right. And you knew it all along. You were just too chicken, to say so.
Miss Maggie, you are 100% right, because that's where that started at. We're not, quote unquote, losing the plot on what a woman is. And you don't want to say what a woman is. Don't want to face none of, we equal to men. No, we are not. We are equitable to men, but we are not equal to men. That is a different thing. It's a different concept, and it is a different word. Okay? If you want to talk about our humanity, sure. But when you start talking about our biology and whether or not listen, I don't know why women are so ashamed of this. Generally speaking, the men are stronger than us. They are physically more durable than us and things of that nature. They're faster. They're going to be stronger and this, that, and the third. It's not a whole lot. There are only so many exceptions to that in any given point. Generally speaking, the men are always going to have the edge on us when it comes to physical activity. It's just the way it is. And I don't know why women be tripping. Like that makes us less of a person. No, it don't. It does not. I'll give you an example. I lift. Now, a man who ain't seen the inside of a gym in his whole adult life, not gonna want to stand next to me on leg day at all. Okay, he not gonna want to do it. However, my husband is always in the gym. I'm never gonna outperform him, ever. My max weight is his starting weight. That's the weight he's warming up with. Like, no joke. I'm not gonna catch him either. I'm not gonna catch him. A man who don't come to the gym will eventually catch me if he is consistent, and he'll pass me. Yep. Right? So it's only so many exceptions and so many air once and again, but that don't make me feel bad. This one was really goofy on the screen right now. I was excluded. Girl, shut up. Shut up. They say get on here and say anything. They get in front of a microphone and say anything. I am convinced that more than half of these people was in the slow class and do not need to be on nobody's podcast. Talking about, I don't want nobody to be discriminated against. Yes, discriminate against the men for being in women's sports, or make the women who think they can play in the NBA go to the NBA then.
It should be one, Crimson. And that's going to be my secondary argument. If biological males are now eligible and they rule for them to be allowed to play in the WNBA, then that loses the justification for why these NBA players are losing money for a league that they also can play in. Then it needs to be one league. And what you're going to find out is that maybe one woman, and I don't even know who that woman is, because the ones that's the best shooters are typically short. And not, they tend to be very short, compact, and they're not going to be able to play any defense. And then the ones that are very tall are too slow. How you that big but can't dunk? Taller than me but can't dunk. Face right by the rim, can't dunk. Nobody even talked about the Angel Reese missing all them damn shots. When they talk about all these rebounds she get, they never include the part about half of them is her own shots. What you're going to find out, they're going to F around and find out. Now, I got a very serious question I want to ask y'all. Which color hair do you think I should go with when I, really go all the way, You
gotta listen, Mr. Jeff. You gotta show them what you made of. If you don't come in with turquoise hair, I ain't even trying to hear it.
You right.
Turquoise.
You right.
And you gotta do one of these when you get on the court.
Mm-hmm.
One of them, they know when you finna dunk when you do one of these.
And and they better not discriminate and tell me I gotta shave my beard either, because they ain't telling the other ladies to shave either. So why are they gonna tell me and Ennis and Royce why we gotta shave? So I'm just looking at the different color schemes. I had locks before, but this is a different, I didn't realize when I had locks before, this is actually what I was working for all that time and didn't realize it. So Messy, which color do you
I can't do this, y'all. I can talk, but I got nothing. I'm sorry, I have nothing. This is so ridiculous. But I think you should go as blonde as that last blonde girl that just got in trouble because she was blonde to the hilt. Whoever that girl is, I don't know these people.
Oh yeah. I know you're talking about.
Yeah, everybody want to be blonde. I got to tap out. I don't know. This is crazy, but. It always is another push. It's more of a push. Always got to be going to the edge of something. Everybody got to feel fire to know that fire is hot. And any of these women that are saying that they should just come in here. Somebody just said that there's no women trying to go into the NBA. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. Ridiculous. This is ridiculous.
Now, I agree with you. And Crimson, obviously this has been happening for years, but it became mainstream over the last 10, 15 years. But when people say, if we really could point to something specific, I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this is where a lot of this started. When you gave the Woman of the Year award to Caitlin Clark, and you did not listen to Caitlin Clark, who also said simultaneously, but I still think that biological males should not be competing in women's sports. Y'all didn't listen. So
right? But I forgot about this. You're traumatizing me with this.
I'm
Yeah,
telling
Bruce
you.
Caitlin was on it. Bruce Caitlin is on it. Bruce Caitlin said
Bruce Caitlin is crazy.
Bruce Caitlin told y'all that just because I'm Bruce Caitlin, that don't mean that men is supposed to get into the sports women. Because you know why? Regardless of how mixed up he is, he was an Olympic gold medalist and a superior athlete. He was on the Wheaties box, and you know that used to be a thing when you could get on the Wheaties box, baby.
Yep.
Okay, so Bruce Caitlin was on point. Okay, when he was doing track and field and all that kind of stuff. So speaking from his experience as an athlete, Bruce Caitlin said, no, biological men cannot and should not enter into the sports with biological women. It's just not gonna work, and it never is going to work. This is traumatizing. No, I ain't gonna hold it. Yeah.
Well, at least Caitlin shaved. So let me look at these super chats real quick, and then Maggie, I want you to jump back in here. Gregory, thank you for the $5. Appreciate the love and support. Hey Jeff, I decided that I am a carrot tonight. Okay, all right. Listen, we are in new territory where everybody can be whatever it is that they want. What they say, binary, non-binary. They say two-spirited. You know, the whole pan something. High Vibe, 199. They will become the LeBron James of the WNBA. Shake my damn head. And Crimson, you might be right that this is going to get eyeballs. This is probably going to bring and fill up seats to a league that can't pay for itself. It sounds crazy, but hear me out. Like,
it don't sound crazy, Mr. Jeff. It don't sound crazy. You know why?
Wow.
Because it points out just why there should be no WNBA. The WNBA suffers in a way that other women's divisions and other sports do not. Because the women, for the most part, are more or less basketball fundamentally sound because they have to be. Okay, they kind of have to be because they lack the athleticism to compensate for when they're not sound. So when they're not fundamentally sound, the basketball play is just bad. It's bad. No one, not even other basketball fans, male or female, want to watch these games. The reason why they don't want to watch these games, like I said, is star power. There's not enough there to even want to watch it. Nobody wants to watch entertainment that's not entertaining. It suffers in a way that other female divisions don't. Female division in the UFC still gets the male eyes too. Yep. Because those women get in there and bang. Okay,
volleyball.
Those fights are entertaining. They be fighting. They be doing their thing in there.
Female boxers, Clarissa Shields, Layla. Yep.
I have the female division of boxing does not suffer like that because the women get in there and do their thing. You know what I'm saying? And they know that they're women. Even in tennis, Serena and Venus was the most dominant females, period. People are going to watch them. Even male tennis are going to watch them because they get out there and they dominate. Even in any other combat sport or any female division sport that you could think about, the men of those sports actually watch when the females do it too because they do it well. The WNBA simply does not play even to a fraction of the talent that the men play.
No, that high school. No, Crimson, we got to stop comparing the WNBA to the NBA. We got to compare them to high school players. We got to stop being disrespectful to NBA players.
We can't even do that, Mr. Jeff, because, and I hear what you're trying to say, but we got to compare them to their professional male counterparts. This is how bad it is because they don't play well. They just don't play well. It's just not something nobody wants to watch. It would be different if the league kept churning out the Cheryl Swoops and the Lisa Leslie. If that was the caliber of women who always pretty much came out, you would have a different thing. If they really could play, they can mix it up with the All-Star Weekend and stuff like that. Nobody wants to see it. They're known for foolishment and not for games. Angel Reese is not known for her play. She's known for getting out there being a thought. All of this. Then tried to make a whole controversy of race with her and Caitlin Clark, which I thought was foolishness. And you just can't play well. You just mad. Listen, nobody wants to see it. They need to close the chapter on the WNBA. It was a failed experiment. We don't want to see it anymore. It's over.
Jesus. Tristan Smith, 1999. They gave Bruce Jenner the Time Magazine's Woman of the Year. What's the other name? Caitlin what? What's their name?
Jenner or Caitlin Clark?
What Bruce Jenner's new name was Caitlin. What was the name?
Caitlin
Jenner. Yeah. Thank you, Tristan, for the 1999. What else did he say? I knew we were cooked as a society with the Woman of the Year award. Tech nobility, $10. The level of stupidity of our generation is displayed with this silliness. Won't be in the history books. It will be in the comic books for sure. Jesus. Chris, thank you for the $4.99. If you have to put any type of disclaimer before woman or man, it's not a thing. Jeez. Def the Reaper, thank you for the $2. Angel Reese leads in her own rebounds. Exactly what I said. And what Chris, you said was so crazy. The second most famous person in the league is known for doing layups and missing shots. Angel Reese is most known for hard fouls, getting into altercations, doing layups and missing her own shots and getting her own rebounds. That's what she's known for. That's the second most famous player in the league. Now, shout out to Asia, who actually is a baller. Caitlin, who actually can play. But they are anomalies. Like, this is not, there's not 20 women that are playing on the level that those ladies happen to be playing on. Chris, thank you for the $4.99. The U.S. women's national soccer team is beaten 15 and were beaten by exactly. I wish I could have pulled that up. I'll see if I can find the article. The U.S. women's national soccer team was beaten by 15 and 17-year-old boys twice. So the reality is it's an inferior product. You're right. It is a failed experiment, and they're more known for fouls and gossip and drama and who's sleeping with who than the actual game itself. They are not known, overwhelmingly, the league is not known for anything that's actually happening. So it's sad. Cape and Caveman, thank you for the $10. We used to know Cynthia Cooper, Lisa Leslie, shout out to Dawn Staley, Cheryl Swoops, Tina Thompson, absolutely were household names. And that's why they still have respect. And that's the issue of why I wouldn't completely close it off. I want them to clean their league up. I want them to solve this stuff. I want to get it in order, but I understand they cannot survive without the NBA, because at the end of the day, like, Dawn Staley is one of my idols. Shout out to her. I always loved her. Everybody from Philly knew of her and loved her, and a lot of these other ladies. But they have taken something that those ladies started and built and completely thrown it in the trash. They're throwing it in the trash. They don't even care about the actual game and what's happening. You got to this whole Caitlin thing, which we're going to segue for the last 10 minutes, about how they've kind of taken it. I've noticed a pattern now. White women in the WNBA that start reaching notoriety, the other players start attacking. And I'm confused, because this league might have actually closed up if it wasn't for Caitlin Clark. Quiet as kept. If it wasn't for Caitlin, again, a lot of eyeballs was watching her in college. In Indiana, a lot of eyeballs was watching her. So we got into this strange spot where I started to realize, like, y'all are kind of attacking the very women that's actually bringing eyeballs to the WNBA. And that's like the dumbest move. Imagine all your top superstars, everybody in the league, game in and game out, is trying to injure and get them out the league. I don't understand it. Tristan, Matavere Academy High School men's basketball would be the best starting five of the WNBA had to offer by 40 plus points. Thank you for the $9.99. Def the Reaper, $5. There are multiple videos of middle and high school boys beating. I've seen it one-on-one. They cannot compete with the upper echelon of middle school players as well. They literally cannot do it. And I don't know why. And I'm hearing WNBA players talking about NBA players that they think they could beat. Ma'am, the delusion is crazy. Cape and Caveman, $5. We used to live in a material world with Madonna. Today, they're living in a delusional world with liberals. Jeez. True Wendigo, $10. Don't take this the wrong way, ladies, but it appears the men are going to have to be the ones to fix this society because there are not enough of you all. Sadly, your crazy harpy sisters have won. Yeah, man. The WNBA stands for Women's National Basketball Association. The keyword is women's. Thank you, Eugene, for the 5. Caveman again, $20. As men, we know what makes us powerful. We also know what femininity has that trumps our power. We need to really analyze why women are allowing men to invade their space, acting as women and diminishing their power. Crazy. It's going to sound crazy, bro. I don't think we need to analyze anything. I think what everybody said, we need to let it happen. Because a hard head is only going to realize it when it hit against something else harder. That's to me, that's going to be the ultimate thing. Because again, this is the other piece. The WNBA players for years, when NBA players were going to the games, making recommendations, and saying how they can make the game more competitive, Shaquille O'Neal and I said it myself, lower the rim. Lower the rim so that your anatomy can make the game a little bit funner. So it's not one of you dunking every 20 years. But instead, they took it as offensive. And your ball is smaller. Y'all are smaller. Y'all not as fast and y'all not as athletic. Shorten the rim so that the game actually fits your anatomy. And then all of a sudden, the game would actually be significantly funner. They got offended and went off on all the men and players that said that exact thing. I said, y'all want to lose. Yo, and the only reason why people even became relevant was because Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark through their college experience and then making in the league. Otherwise, this is insane. New Ridden, thank you for the 5. Wow, the Kangs and the Queens are at it again. Are you telling me that the Quangs are becoming the Kangs? Becoming the Kangs? What's going on here? Appreciate you for the 5, good sir. KBK, man, $10. What's crazy is the WNBA players are not filling the seats, but the owners and the team's value have increased over 1,000%, making more money in value, being laughed at, and then the talent is producing. This is embarrassing. Def the Reaper, what if Magic Johnson's daughter... I haven't going to say
best power forward you ever wanted to see. So
and Magic Johnson's daughter gonna keep them heels on too. Requirement. Richard, because apparently they can walk better in the heels than the biological women can, but we'll leave that for another time. Richard, thank you for the $2.79. March Madness NCAA girl has more eyes than the WNBA, and that is a fact. That is a fact that the college the college NCAA tournament has more viewership. I think it actually than the entire WNBA season. If I could be standing corrected, somebody correct me in the chat. I want to believe that for that month of college basketball, I think they have higher viewership than the entire season of the WNBA combined. Somebody test me if I'm right or wrong about that. Follow the lead. Follow me. Lead the way. Thank you for the 5. Talk your stuff, Mrs. Crimson. She brought me here, by the way. Cape and Caveman, $5. The biggest attraction at the carnival was the bearded lady. Ashley for Productions introducing the ANBA Ashton Center. Ashley for small forward, Anton shooting forward, Tatum power forward, CGA point guard, lead attorney, coached by Dr. Umar. Let's go. $9.99 Through the Fire podcast. Thank you for the 200. Jules and the Sunshine. Who else we got? This is hilarious. Dub Will, $4.99. Truth be told, the WNBA needs to embrace Caitlin Clark as the face of the league if they want to survive. She gets fed up and leaves. It's a wrap. Her and Angel Reese make more money outside of the league than actually what they get paid as players. They get paid way more money. So if they end up playing for another league or playing for another country, y'all better be careful because y'all playing with fire. These women made more money in college than they did as pros through their salaries. So let's Courtney Carr, thank you for the 2 jewels, Silver Star. Derek Gaines, member for 34 months. So he was rocking with us from the beginning. Messy and putting my name in for the WNBA. I will change my name to Messy Gaines. Absolutely. Chris, $4.99. Did NBA players say this is our league when Magic, Bird, Jordan, and Kobe joined? I think we're seeing female nature on display with Caitlin Clark. Oof. Rich said R hash McGuire $10. It is more lucrative to be an NBA baby mama than to play in the NBA. Oh my God. That is so true. The payout is oh my God. That is so true. It is more lucrative to be an NBA baby mama than to play in the WNBA. Last few, all my 304s demonetized. $2 weaves, nails, and tampons. Lakers in 5. Thank you for that. Technobility, $5. The WNBA is a loss leader for the NBA. A write-off, and owners are cashing out while the pump and dump is taking place. Look at the Lakers. Excuse me for that. Chris, thank you for the 10 jewels again for the gold coin. And last two in written. $5. Let's remind the Quangs of what happened when Caitlin Clark went up against Steph Curry in the 3-point contest and got destroyed very badly. And Philip Sadiq, welcome, good sir. Before Clark arrived, they were flying coach. Now they're flying private planes. More eyes, more money being spent. Too many people in their feeling instead of looking at the bottom line. Ladies, we got to keep we got to keep the main thing. I want this to happen. I want it to happen because they were trying to injure the players that's actually bringing in the eyeballs. They got all this drama. It's always about who's sleeping with who. All these unnecessary, ridiculous fouls. Coaches are now arguing and going back and forth with players. They're lying about this situation. I want it to happen. I want it to happen because y'all going to learn either one or two lessons. Either y'all actually are going to stick together and realize y'all have a product to sell that y'all ain't been selling that well, or y'all don't need to be able to sell it at all. And I'm in the camp of, I think the best thing that can happen is for their ideology, their views, and them going against everything that everybody is telling them what it is that they're supposed to do to actually turn this product around. I want them to get what they think. I want them to get what they claiming for. I want biological males to be able to come into this league, take all the positions, and all that. The only positions they'll have left is water girl and coach. That's left. And the WNBA, they're gonna add a T at the TWNBA. That's gonna be next. That's the TWNBA. So one more, and then Maggie, I want you to come in. It looks like we're actually going to be wrapping up soon. Def Reaper, thank you for the 5. Hold up. Why isn't Brittany Griner playing in the NBA? I mean, he admits as a man, hit the like button, because she's not good enough to be a bench player for the G League, if we're honest. She's actually not good enough to play for most high schools for boys. If we're going to be honest, she's too slow. She's not athletic enough. And when she plays against that, she's talking about, I can better than Cousins and better than this center, and like, stop the nonsense. They're not built that way. But I appreciate you, sir, for that. And then Dr. AJ, $5 salute to seeing my girl Michonne twice today. Oh, you was watching. Okay. Yeah, appreciate you for that. So Messy and Maggie, what do y'all think? Even beyond the whole trans individuals saying they want to play in the league, what are y'all thoughts about this ongoing issue of the way that they're attacking players, hard fouls, crossing lines? I'm even going to play it. What do y'all think about seeing this stuff with what they're doing that could end up costing literally all the viewership that they do have? Like, what are y'all thoughts about this?
The viewership, I certainly hope that somebody got suspended for this. This is what women do. They be just jealous because somebody's better, somebody looks better, or whatever the reasons are. I'm not saying that it's right. I saw this one. I don't know what happened because, again, I don't watch the WNBA. I don't keep up with it. But they just seem to be typical catty women. Back at catty. Honestly, that's all I see. Then one day the girl's wig came off. I'm like, why are y'all wearing wigs when you running up and down the court? That don't make sense to me either.
Wigs in the game. That's why I don't want to be taken seriously. They're wearing wigs.
Because
Are you
They're wearing bust downs they're wearing bust downs during professional basketball games.
Yeah, that's always been weird to me. I don't know nothing about this child. This is crazy.
Crimson, what was you about to say?
I ain't saying nothing but agreeing with Messy about the wig, because every other female division, they don't wear fake hair. The black women or the white women, when they're the UFC women, braid their hair back. Yep. Everybody braids their hair back to make sure that it's not in the way, that nobody's wearing fake hair. So you can't even take it seriously.
This is so true. Maggie, what you thinking?
Yeah, I know we're laughing at this and we're all traumatized by that picture of Caitlyn Jenner. I mean, you can pull your broad shoulders behind and tuck your privates up under, but you are still an anatomical male. I've been thinking about this, and, I have not been following the sport very closely, but a few things come to mind. For me, this is another byproduct of feminism that is going to do all of us in. And, young ladies, don't believe these women when they say they want to be equal. They don't want to be equal. They want to be better than. And the reason why you showed that clip of all those air balls at the net, I couldn't tell if they were playing volleyball or if they were playing basketball. But ask yourself, if a male team had that type of performance, they would be booed off of the court. But the women not only want to have a seat at the table, they want to argue for more money. And just like you said, Mr. Jeff, you're not good enough. It's just what it is. And we have to accept that we can't be in every space, at every table, in every elevated in every way. There are just some limitations that we have. And I think they're making a mockery of the sport, that the people who love the game, their work speaks for themselves. And the fact that we know these women by their antics, and, now they're having these emergency closed door meetings. You asked for this. Mm-hmm. You said that, you can do everything that a man can do, everything you can do, I can do better. Well, now it's time for you to show it. And you're right. I'm a mom of 2 teenage boys. They are both stronger than me. One can lift me up, and I'm not small. So when you think that as a woman, you're going to be able to compete with men as men, you're going to continue to get burned, but I'm going to let them, touch the stove. This is really it's going to have to get so bad that it overcorrects itself, because they won't listen. They won't listen to reason. And, again, the people who are masters at their craft, I believe it was you, Mr. Jeff, who said men and women will watch. Mr. President watches track and field. We all remember FloJo for her skill, right? Simone Biles took a year off the Olympics. When she came back after she got, herself together, we all had eyes on the screen because we want to see excellence. We all do. So we just have to be honest that this is not excellence, and you cannot demand that you should be compensated in the same way when you don't have the viewership. You don't have the pull. You don't have the fan base. You don't have what it takes. And if there was feedback that was given to them to make it better, so you would attract that, you have to do the work. But they didn't want to do the work. They just wanted to be that loud clanging cymbal, and then somebody else has got to come fix it for them. And that's not how it is for men. Men know that they have to earn everything that they get. And if a man doesn't perform, the world is right there, ready to tell our men, our boys, everybody, you're not tall enough, you're not strong enough, you're not fast enough, you're not tough enough. But women don't want to take the feedback, go back and get better, or realize, this is not where, I can be strong. I played soccer in high school, but there's a reason, like you said, that they separate the boys from the girls. And as long as we're going to continue to deny our natural biology, we will lose time and time again. And I fear that it's going to take something very physical happening that we all look up and say, man, you know what? Something needs to be done. But by then it'll be too late. So let them learn the hard way.
if they let a biological male or multiple into the WNBA, when those biological males get physical and do this version of what we're seeing on the screen, when they do their version of the foul, these women are going to get concussions. These women are going to get really hurt. And let it happen.
I support it.
Let it happen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let it happen. Because that's the only way their hard-headed selves is actually going to get it.
Oh, they're going to change their tune real quick and say, oh, but look at what this man did to me. I promise you.
Yup. That's exactly what it has to be. A hard head doesn't realize their head is hard until they hit their head against something harder. And when a biological male comes in, Enes Kanter is a former center in the NBA. These guys played in the league. So when they do a backup and they do their swing through and their elbow comes coming through and it fractures a woman's skull, it knocks a tooth out. When they're just playing normal basketball, and you're going to see the difference in anatomy. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. So to close things out, I just want to read these super chats. Trey, thank you for the 5 jewels and the treat. Showing love. Tristan, 1999. There's a 6'8" center in the WNBA named Brittany Griner who is known more for her weed usage and incarceration in Russia and paying child support to her ex-wife than her basketball skills. Jesus. Damn, that's true. And then last but not least, Kokif, thank you, or the last few. Kokif, thank you for the 5. The women in the UFC have shaved their heads. The WNBA showed up with fake eyelashes. The cultures are different because the UFC is male-regulated culture. Well, it sounds like that's what the WNBA need. They need some additional regulation because that's why they got the bust downs and the blonde wigs and got all a face full of makeup to play basketball. What the fuck what the hell is wrong with y'all? Do y'all what are we talking about here? This is why y'all not taken seriously. It's always new written $5. The reason why the men's sports gets more sales is because the men are competitive and a lot more brutal, especially in NFL and the NBA. Literally what Crimson said. It's more, and I'm gonna be honest with you, it's more aesthetically pleasing, but all the other female sports, I'm a fan of soccer, so I've watched the women's USA soccer. They actually look great compared to the other women. I don't want to see them compared to playing high school boys because I know what the end result is going to be 8-0, 12-0. So I understand why there's a separation. Apparently, these ladies need a wake-up call. And then last but not least, new written, again, $5. I want to say this. I live in New York City in the MTA police department and their ESU. Out of all of the men, there's only one woman in that unit in history. So at the end of the day, I think what's going to end up happening is they're going to cower to the politics. They're going to allow it to happen. And when women don't win MVPs anymore, when biological women and females no longer win any MVPs anymore, they don't get the awards anymore, and they start losing their starting time and they start losing roster spots, then they're going to get it. They're allowing the craziest of the most progressives to open up a Pandora's box that they're not realizing. Y'all have a hate for all the women that's bringing the eyeballs and the women that's defending you. Y'all hating on Sophie Cunningham, who's saying she wants to protect the sport for girls and women. Y'all saying she's a bigot and all. Go ahead and keep doing it. So to close things out, everybody, we appreciate y'all for being able to support us with the ladies table. In the next 2 weeks, I'm going to be making an announcement myself. I'm sure I'll be announcing it on the ladies panel as well as a variety of different content creators panels as well. Maybe multiple announcements for sure. But to close things out, do any of y'all have any particular announcements or topics or things y'all going to be covering this week? Let's do Crimson, Messy, and then Maggie.
I don't have any particular announcements. Just thank you for the opportunity to show up and have these conversations, Mr. Jeff. I really appreciate it. This one was a funny one. Yeah. No way I could take it seriously because it's nothing to be taken serious. It's crazy because it's crazy. But that's all that I wanted to say.
Okay.
There's actually a troll in here that actually had the audacity and nerve to say that this is Trump's fault, of course, because anything and everything is always Donald Trump's fault. And the thing that that silly as this is on a Republican conservative side just shows how silly so many people are. Other than that, same old stuff. Nothing special this week either. Shout out to all of the chat and everybody that donated. Hit the like button. Subscribe if you're new.
Yeah. And what about you, Maggie?
I don't have any announcements. I'm trying to get off restriction per the last announcement that I had. But I'm Maggie. Thank you for the panel. And again, at the end of the day, we will laugh at this, but think about the lasting effect of our short-sightedness as women. And I think this is finally time for us to realize that a woman is an adult female human, naturally born with XX chromosome that has the potential to carry a child. Full stop.
I'm going to say this. I'm not going to show y'all the actual cover yet, but for everybody who's watching for the first time, your boy has completed his book. So I'll be announcing what the book is and where everybody can find it, and probably within the next 2 weeks. I plan on getting on some big platforms to kind of discuss the book, and it's going to be about dating and relationships. And my hope is to kind of change the game about how we go about viewing and showing up. And I hope that it raises a mirror to how, as we as men and women have been approaching the dating situation. And it's my small attempt to add to trying to shut down this gender war foolishness. So thank you, Frederick, for the what is this, a sticker?
Salute, just salute to everyone.
Yeah, appreciate you for the salute. And then also New Ridden, thank you for the 5 I play airsoft, which is brutal. We are shooting at each other with pellets that can leave welts. I rarely see the women in our sport. So everybody, have a good day, have a good week, and we hope to see y'all on the other side. Please make sure you have subscribed to all the ladies that you see on the screen. Make sure to feel free again to become a member of their platforms and channels. And like I said, probably in the next 2 weeks, once we lock a few things in place, it'll be announced on the ladies, the men's, and every platform that I'll be making this run. Because once I get started, I'm probably going to do a 90-day tour where I'm going to be going as far and as wide as I possibly can to hopefully change the game when it comes to this book. And let's just say that I went in the weeds when it comes to specific people I wanted to talk about and to use as examples for what not to do and what to do. So everybody have a good night, and we'll see y'all on the other side. Peace.